From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. over the weekend called on 266 members of the Philippine Military Academy or PMA Class of 2025 to stay mentally sharp amid the growing threat of cyber warfare. Speaking at the commencement rites at Fort del Pilar in Baguio City, the President reminded the cadets that modern warfare now extends beyond traditional domains. The Chief Executive reminded the graduates that physical strength and agility are no longer enough, and what we need just as much are your mental sharpness and your compassion. President Marcos advised them to apply what they have learned during their training and courses in the academy, especially in such areas as artificial intelligence or AI, drone technology, strategic thinking, and ethical leadership. The Commander-in-Chief hailed the PMA Class as a class of many firsts, citing that they were the first cadets trained on Pag-asa Island and had represented the PMA in international military forums and competitions.
And as your Commander-in-Chief, I am impressed by your perseverance, strength of will, and dedication to reach this point. We all know your path was not easy. 4 years of discipline, training, hard work, and I'm sure some nights of self-doubt wondering if this was the right choice. But you did not give up, and now you are here, ready to serve the country as new officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, you are a class of many firsts. You are the first group to be trained on Pag-asa Island itself. You also brought the PMA's name to international fora and competitions that boast your organizational military skills, from academic conferences in Palermo, international sailing regattas in Italy, India, amongst others. In every instance, you have proved that the Filipino soldier is ready to face the world with dignity and to show his excellence. But beyond recognition, the most important lesson you carry is the understanding that warfare today goes beyond land, seas, and skies. We have battles that are invisible to radar, ones that take place in cyberspace, in protecting information and safeguarding the environment, and in helping communities during crises. So physical strength and agility are no longer enough. What we need just as much are your mental sharpnesses and your compassion. Fortunately, your training now includes courses that were once unseen in the military academy. Artificial intelligence, drone operations, strategic thinking, ethical leadership, amongst others. These are all important. But what is also important, and possibly the most important, is your love of country. That is, an officer who knows how to love his or her country despite its flaws in a most sincere way. Our country needs men and women who put their country and others above themselves, who sacrifice for the good of all, and who overcome odds because they believe in the bright future ahead.
The 266 first-class cadets of PMA Class consist of 212 men and 54 women. About 137 of the 266 graduates will join the Philippine Army. 71 will serve in the Philippine Navy, and 58 will be part of the Philippine Air Force. The graduating class joined the academy at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021. The class valedictorian, Cadet First Class Jesse Ticar Jr., is the fourth cadet to graduate summa cum laude and has the highest average among all graduates. He is set to join the Army.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Saturday stressed the need to set aside politics now that the midterm elections are over and work together for a better Philippines. The President made the call during the Thanksgiving party at the Bagong Pilipinas' headquarters in Mandaluyong City, following the proclamation of the 12 winning senators, half of whom ran under the administration-backed Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas coalition. President Marcos said that it is time to put all the politics aside and put all of the issues that were raised during the election and only talk about developmental issues, healthcare issues, education issues, agricultural issues, and supply issues. The chief executive hoped that the progress made under his watch would be sustained until the end of his term in 2028. President Marcos Jr. also sought the media's help to keep the public informed about the policies and programs of his administration. Incumbent Senators Pia Cayetano and Lito Lapid earned fresh 6-year terms and will be joined by Alianza teammates Erwin Tulfo, Panfilo Lacson, Vicente Soto III, and Camille Villar. The other 6 winners are incumbent Senators Christopher Go, who emerged top-notcher, Ronald De La Rosa and presidential sister Amy Marcos, and Rodante Marcoleta, Bam Aquino, and Francis Pangilinan. There will be 4 sibling pairs in the Senate for the 20th Congress: Senators Jinggoy Estrada and J.V. Ejercito, Senators Mark and Camille Villar, Senators Pia and Alan Peter Cayetano, and Senators Rafi and Erwin Tulfo. The newly elected senators will assume office on June 30th and will serve until 2031.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang over the weekend said the Philippines and South Korea have agreed to strengthen coordination and security measures to ensure the safety of Korean nationals visiting and residing in the country. This after the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOCC, chaired by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, engaged in a high-level dialogue with representatives from the Korean Consulate and the United Korean Community Association in the Philippines. In a statement, the palace said, the discussion focused on looking for ways to address the rising crimes committed against Korean nationals residing or visiting the country. PAOCC Executive Director Gilberto Cruz presented the Philippine government's plan to strengthen the security and safety of Korean residents in the country. The measures include the revitalization of the Tourist Security Desk, a specialized unit intended to provide police visibility and enhance coordination among local authorities in safeguarding foreign nationals at all times. Monitoring of key localities such as Angeles City in Pampanga Province, as well as Manila and Cebu, will also be intensified. Sang Xiongman, Deputy Chief Mission and Consul General of the Embassy of the Republic of Korea, suggested international police cooperation and intelligence gathering framework, as well as strong reinforcement from Philippine authorities. On April 20th, a Korean national was shot dead near a bank at the so-called Korean town in Angeles City. The shooting incident was linked to robbery. The Korean Association community of Angeles City offered a 200,000 peso reward for information that will lead to the arrest of the suspects.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA on Sunday said Mongolian Foreign Minister Batsetseg Bakmuk is set to embark on an official visit to the Philippines on May 19 and 20. Batsetseg will hold a bilateral meeting with her counterpart, Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo, and review the state of Philippine-Mongolian relations. She is also scheduled to pay a courtesy call on President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and meet with Senate President Francis Escudero. The DFA said her visit to the Philippines, the first by a Mongolian foreign minister since 1984, would help chart ways forward to further enhance the two countries' diplomatic relations. On top of the bilateral cooperation, the DFA said the two foreign ministers would also discuss strategic issues of mutual concern. Batsetseg's upcoming Manila trip reciprocates Manalo's visit to Ulaanbaatar in August of 2024, where they convened the fourth Philippines-Mongolia policy consultations. During the meeting, the top diplomats of Manila and Ulaanbaatar discussed ways to promote trade, including the establishment of ties between Filipino and Mongolian business communities and the potential for further cooperation on tourism, agriculture, English language training, and sports.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, newly installed Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA Administrator Patricia Yvonne Kaunan over the weekend said she will push for programs that prioritize the health and literacy of overseas Filipino workers or OFWs. During the weekly forum in Quezon City, Kaunan said she commits to study the expansion of scholarship not only for the children of OFWs but for OFWs themselves. She added that two issues needs to be focused on: education and health, where OFWs needs to help their sick relatives or have children to educate, but the agency will not forget their welfare or repatriation. Kaunan noted that some OFWs have multiple jobs and fall victims to illegal recruitment. She also vowed to improve OWA's digital services to make it easier and faster for OFWs to transact with the agency and avail of existing programs. Kaunan took oath as the new OWA administrator on Friday, replacing Arnel Ignacio. Kaunan confirmed that the alleged questionable 1.4 billion peso land acquisition deal of OWA without approval from the Board of Trustees is being investigated by the Department of Migrant Workers or DMW. She said the land purchase deal under Ignacio's watch would allegedly be used for a halfway house or dormitory-type accommodation for OFWs.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Department of Health or DOH assured there is no cause for alarm despite the reported surge in coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 cases in some Southeast Asian countries. In a statement over the weekend, the DOH said the agency is actively coordinating through established mechanisms like the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN that gives them verified information, boosting readiness even as they see no cause for alarm. Hong Kong and Singapore earlier noted a surge in COVID-19 cases. In Singapore, the latest data showed that the estimated number of COVID-19 cases in the week ending May 3rd increased to 14,000 from 11,100 in the previous week. Its Ministry of Health said there is no indication that the variants circulating are more transmissible or cause more severe disease. Hong Kong, meanwhile, said its major surveillance indicators of COVID-19 reached a one-year high, likely due to changes in predominant circulating strains and declining herd. Its health agency did not provide the total number of cases but said it recorded 81 severe cases among adults, including 30 fatal cases in the past 4 weeks. In the Philippines, as of May 3rd, the DOH said it recorded 1,774 COVID-19 cases this year, about 87% down from 14,074 recorded in 2025. The case fatality rate is 1.13%, and recent trends also indicate a slight decrease in reported cases over the past 3 to 4 weeks. From 71 cases in the week of March 23rd to April 5th this year, the number of COVID-19 cases in the country decreased to 65 cases from April 6th to the 19th. The DOH reminded the public anew to always wear face masks in healthcare facilities, stay home when sick, practice proper respiratory hygiene, and seek early consultations for symptoms.
Dateline Malacañang.
Beneficiaries from various projects under President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s flagship Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino or 4PH program are all praises after receiving their respective housing units. The Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development or DHSUD is continuously turning over 4PH units to beneficiaries in various parts of the country. In the Palayan City Township project in Nueva Ecija Province, hundreds of beneficiaries had been processed while some are now enjoying the amenities in the 23-hectare 4PH project in Atate Town. In a news release on Sunday, Maria Cassandra Gonzalez, one of the beneficiaries of the project, said she is so happy because they have their own house. Gonzalez thanked President Marcos and DHSUD Secretary Jose Rizalino Acuzar for giving beneficiaries like her a chance to live in a condominium-style housing unit. In Mindanao, several 4PH projects are also in advanced stages of completion, with units already being turned over to beneficiaries. Among them are Peoplesville in Davao City, Davao del Sur, and Valley View Township in Tagoloan, Misamis Oriental, where beneficiaries have already started moving in. Kenneth Jane Rose Gasis, a child development worker from the local government and one of the beneficiaries of the Valley View Township project, also thanked President Marcos and Acuzar for choosing his family as among the beneficiaries. Acuzar said the government has shown that it can provide sustainable township development through 4PH as evidenced by ongoing projects all over the country. Another 4PH project with turned-over units is the Ascenso Yuhum Residences in Bacolod City in Negros Occidental Province. Meanwhile, hundreds of units are ready for turnover at the Crystal Peak Estates in the city of San Fernando in Pampanga Province. Other ongoing projects with buildings already in advanced stages of construction are El Sand Residence in Lawag, Ilocos Norte, Bocaue Bulacan Manor, Abuab Towers in San Mateo, Rizal, Pilar, Bataan, San Miguel in Manila, and Pili in Camarines Sur.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the Philippines Department of Tourism has expressed strong support for the creation of a unified Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN Visa, saying it could help position the region as a single powerhouse tourism destination. Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco made the statement during the Skift Asia Forum 2025 in Bangkok, Thailand last Thursday, where she served as one of the key speakers. The proposal, inspired by the European Schengen Visa and the Gulf Cooperation Council's Joint Visa, is gaining traction among member states of the ASEAN. In a DOT release Sunday, Frasco bragged that there's similar interest from other Southeast Asian nations about the unified visa system. Frasco said the country is hopeful that the subject matter will again come up as the Philippines host the ASEAN in 2026. The tourism chief underscored the potential of enhanced regional cooperation despite existing competition among ASEAN countries. Frasco said, "Competition is always very healthy, but collaboration is healthier in a sense that ASEAN coming together to work as a force for good for the world would really benefit all countries." She cited the Philippines' partnership with Thailand as an example, pointing to the implementation of their two countries' one destination campaign. Frasco also highlighted the Philippines' cultural and culinary diversity as key selling points to ASEAN tourists. Amid declining arrivals from China, Frasco said, the DOT is expanding efforts to attract visitors from new and growing markets such as India, the Middle East, and the Gulf states. To cater to Muslim travelers, Frasco said, the DOT has recognized more halal-certified accommodations and restaurants and launched the Muslim-friendly Marhaba Cove in Boracay Island. She also reported growing arrivals from Australia, South Korea, Japan, and the United States, attributing the trend to improved connectivity and diversified tourism offerings such as diving, golf, and adventure travel.
Dateline Malacañang.
And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.